So in this video I'm going to show you, how I take my creatine, and a little bit of tips in the gym. But, ever since I started taking creatine, you notice that my muscles look a lot fuller. I don't look flat. That's something that creatine helps you do. It helps you, get more water to your muscles. It helps you recover faster. It helps you actually build more muscle. And I'll show you guys how I take my creatine in this video, and a little tips on the gym as well. Hope you enjoy it, and just remember to like the video. And this is just my progress so far. Right now I weigh 168. So I'm microwaving some water, making it warm, and I'm gonna show you why. Now, what I like to do is, when you're a creatine, the way it absorbs a lot better is with carbs. High carbs. And I read online on Creatine's website for creatine that if you use warm water, it's gonna absorb a lot better. You're gonna get most of the use from it. It's totally bro science according to some people. I kind of agree, but I still give it a try, and it's something I got used to. And when I take creatine, I look pretty full, in my opinion. Look at him over there poking again. What are you always eating for? And for those of you wondering what kind of creatine I'm taking, right now I'm taking Cellucure's Creature. It's made out of Creapure, one of the best and the ones that I trust right now. And this one actually has potassium with it, and potassium helps your muscles look fuller. So if you want, the best results, I definitely recommend that you eat potassium while you're on creatine, even if you're not on creatine, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are going to ask me, how should I take my creatine? Just take it with anything you have. You can take it with grape juice. A lot of research says that grape juice absorbs a lot better. A lot of they say don't take it with orange juice. Just don't take it. Whatever you search, just try it that way. The best way is really with water. Once it gets to your stomach, it doesn't really matter what you take, because all the acid and stuff. But in my opinion, what I did, I went to the website and I saw that they said, warm up the water from the Creapure website. Warm up the water, or drink it with tea, and it's gonna absorb a lot better. So that's what I did, and ever since I started doing that, I noticed better results as far as how full I feel. My muscles feel a little bit fuller, and the more creatine absorbs, the faster you're gonna recover. That's the whole point of creatine. Creatine monohydrate is one of the best, creatines out there, and it's been proven to work for years. So in my opinion, I recommend that you go with creatine monohydrate, unless you find another one that works for you. And as far as that for women, it definitely works for women, and women can take creatine, 5 grams a day and maybe 10 grams on workout days is fine. It's gonna help you build more muscle, recover faster, and if you're cutting, it's gonna help you, maintain all your muscle mass. And it's definitely gonna help you perform in the gym a little bit better, especially if you take it over years. It's gonna make a huge difference. I know a lot of you want to know if you should run before your workout. In my opinion, if you're trying to build muscle, building muscle is real hard. If you're trying to build muscle, I suggest that you just warm up, with a slight walk like I do, and then just have an intense workout. Because if you run, for about 30 minutes, you're gonna be exhausted by then, and you're not gonna have a good workout. Like I said, if you want to look like a bodybuilder, you gotta train like a bodybuilder. It's as simple as that. You could do cardio in the end of your workout, but just make sure you're not eating too low calories. It's as simple as that. Alright, so today I came to the gym by myself, and I know a lot of you work out by yourself, and sometimes you need a spot. Just don't be afraid and ask somebody. There's a lot of people that will spot you. You just gotta go up to them and just ask them. Like for example, right here. Yo, bro, you give me a spot?
What happened?
You give me a spot, yo?
Oh yeah.
See, man, it's that simple. Just ask somebody, and they'll help you out. So something I want to do is, actually show you the stuff. Show you the way I do things, not just talk about it. Show you an actual real example. And I was talking about creatine, how I use warm water, and I'm gonna show you right now what I was talking about. So I got my warm water, right? And I got my creatine right there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a scoop in there real quick. Here's my creatine. It's already almost empty. So I'm gonna try to get a scoop from there. Just 1 second. I'm gonna put this down and I'm gonna get a scoop. Alright, so I got a scoop, right? So I'm gonna throw it in there. And something I noticed with warm water, it absorbs a lot faster. I messed up the audio over here, so I'm just gonna narrate it. I was just trying to explain, you notice how much creatine's on the bottom. I didn't have a spoon to shake it. I forgot to bring one down, so I just decided to use my skills. And look at that. Look at that. I didn't drop not even one little bit of water on it. That's just skills right there, man. But as far as what time to take your creatine, I like taking it before and after the gym, because that's when I start eat. That's usually when I eat all my carbs. And you notice the water's a little warm, and you notice how much got absorbed already. Just try with cold water so you can notice the difference, or try with some warm tea, and just try it out different ways. And I hope that helps out for you. But so far, it's been helping out. It's been helping me out. Hope you like this, and let me just let it finish. It's not gonna make a big difference, but in my opinion, it does help. So check it out. There's not a lot left yet. Keep spinning it. The warmer it is, the faster it evaporates. Let's see what we got now.